Greetings from Franklin, Tennessee. I'm at the IT conference, my peer group that I attend quarterly. And while here, I've been getting a bunch of messages from folks back home. And here, let me give you a view. So that's the trees outside the hotel here. I try to pick a quiet hallway. You might hear a little bit of the murmur. Session has started, but you might hear some vendors and some of the other participants in the hallway. So anyways, I was getting some messages regarding a situation that's not unique. I'm referring to UNI-que, Casse Populaire, and the tech issues that they're going through right now. Now, it's not a cybersecurity problem. It was a business decision that they've decided to take their systems. They had been partnered with Desjardins and pull them back, and they're going to have their own systems. Now, I don't know how well it's been communicated and what that looked like, but what is being reported, and this has made actual national coverage. CTV, Global, CBC have all picked it up, and they're talking about the fact that people have been locked out of their bank accounts and can't pay their bills, can't get online for 5 days. Now, the CEO of UNI-que has come out and is trying to get in front of this thing, saying, hey, we've kept our banks open longer. We had them on the weekends. We're getting through this. People can have access to their money. We're sorry for the slight inconvenience. But the point of where I'm going with this is sometimes not all updates are good updates. Last year, maybe a year and a half ago, Microsoft had come out with an update for computer systems that ended up breaking the network connection for tens of thousands of computers. Not all updates are created equally. Now, it's important that we update our software and fix patches for known security vulnerabilities. And this is where it becomes a risk return kind of situation. If you don't update software against known vulnerabilities, you're increasing your risk that the bad guys, hackers, are going to be able to utilize that vulnerability to take over your system. Once they're in your system, they could end up stealing your data, launch ransomware, hold your data hostage. So you got to do those updates, right? My company's policy, Bectech's policy, is about we wait 14 days. New patches come out, we vet them. We use a third-party company that does some special vetting of the patches to make sure they're okay. Also gives us a chance to take a look at the impact that's being happened from those that have installed them right away, avoiding like that Microsoft issue that took out tens of thousands of computers from having network connection, and still protecting our clients by getting those patches in. So we found that 14-day is kind of the sweet spot, because when patches come out, not only do we, the general public and the IT folks, learn about them, so do the bad guys. And that's when they start trying to figure out ways to utilize that vulnerability to get in. So you still have to do the updates. But again, not all updates can be good updates. And when things go bad, it can become a PR nightmare, as we're starting to see with UNI-que, Casse Populaire, going through this. And it's a shame. As I said, I'm not sure what measures were put in place to inform people what the process was going to look like or how things were going to go. But let's say, hey, our firewall vendor, we vet and have looked at many different firewall solutions to help protect our clients against known threats, and they will have software security updates as well. Now, we just had a major one come out, and it was installed across our client base. One didn't go well. Actually took the firewall out. Now, luckily, we had backup plans. We had a spare unit. We were able to install the backup of the setup of our client and get them back up and running. But you have to be prepared for those kind of things. You have to have an action plan. And then when you have to put that plan B action plan in place, okay, you've now seen it happen live, then what tweaks can you do to try to make sure that the impact can be lower and lower each time to try to keep the impact as minimized as possible? What I'm saying is, before you make big decisions around tech, you should be doing a little bit of a table talk discussion. Okay, so if we do this and things go bad, what are we going to do to get going back properly? How do we minimize the impact to operations? How do we make sure that we don't have idle staff? How do we make sure that our revenue generating opportunities aren't impacted? These are the things that we have to be thinking about. And the same thing applies to cybersecurity, is what do we have to have in place? What happens if something bad occurs? What's the plan that we're going to do? And the problem is most people are running the fire drills during the fire, and that is just not good. No good can come out of trying to make decisions when you're stressed and under pressure. So you need to have those talks in advance. So I guess the important two things to remember out of this is not all updates are good updates. You have to always kind of weigh the risks of what it's fixing against what could happen if things go bad. And you have to have that table talk conversation that if something goes bad, how do you get back to good? And how do you manage any PR fallout? As the poor CEO of UNI is now going through and is having to have that communications with all these different media brands and the impact that this may have on them. So those are the two tips. Not all updates are good. Have a plan B and talk it through. Don't conduct a fire drill during the fire.